So there's probably not one individual player that has benefited more from Unrivaled than Kate Martin. Look, Kate Martin was somebody that came into the WNBA and nobody, and I mean nobody, thought she was going to make the Las Vegas Aces roster.
Dijonai Carrington is in the spotlight after an alleged incident during a game where Kate Martin was injured. Social media is buzzing with accusations, and opinions are split. Some are calling Carrington a reckless and aggressive player, but is this just a one-time issue or part of a bigger trend?
For the Fever. Down by 18 and Clark is stripped. 1 second for Carrington. Lays it in at the horn.
The game took a heated turn when Kate Martin drove to the basket, seemingly set for an easy score. Out of nowhere, Dijonai Carrington came from behind with a hard challenge that many are calling unnecessary and dangerous. Martin hit the floor, holding her side, as the crowd reacted in shock. Replays of the play quickly made the rounds online, fueling debates. Was it a deliberate foul or just an overly aggressive defensive move? Fans wasted no time sharing their opinions on social media, with many accusing Carrington of dirty tactics. The incident also reignited discussions about her past behavior on the court, including her well-known clash with Caitlin Clark, leading to further scrutiny of her sportsmanship.
Harassed by Carrington, finds Boston. Clark gets hit in the face by Carrington and is down. Caitlin Clark is down. No call as Connecticut takes advantage. And Clark is still down after taking a shot.
In that game, Carrington made a move on Caitlin Clark that many labeled as unnecessary, sparking debate about her sportsmanship. But here's the twist. When asked about the incident during an interview, Carrington showed no signs of regret.
First ever game of the WNBA, forcing 10 turnovers. Right there you see Dijonai Carrington.
Rather than admitting any fault, Carrington dismissed the criticism, insisting she was simply playing the game. When a reporter pushed further, asking if the hit was intentional, she appeared defiant. The situation escalated when the WNBA stepped in, warning the reporter for allegedly provoking racial tensions.
Do you intend to hit her in the eye? And if so, could you just, or if not, either way, could you talk about what happened on that play?
I don't even know why I would intend to hit anybody in the eye. That doesn't even make sense to me. But no, I didn't. I didn't know I hit her, actually. I was trying to make a play on the ball, and I guess I followed through and I hit her. So obviously it's never intentional. That's not even like the type of player that I am. So yeah.
Did you and Marina kind of laugh about it afterwards? It looked like there was later on in the game they caught you guys laughing about it.
No, I just told you I didn't even know I hit her. So I can't laugh about something I didn't know happened.
Fans weren't buying it. To them, this wasn't about race. It was about a pattern of behavior Carrington has displayed on the court. Many believe her actions against Kate Martin reflect a mindset that she can get away with plays like this, just as she did with Caitlin Clark. The lack of serious consequences for the Clark incident may have only encouraged her to push the limits again.
By Carrington, Harris, no, Carrington is there! More second chance points for the Suns.
So important because it allows her to understand which way she's going to be open. She is so smart with all of her moves in the paint.
46.
Carrington may feel shielded by the league's reluctance to stir up controversies, especially when it comes to high-profile players. But this time, the backlash is intense. Fans are speaking out loudly and refusing to let the incident fade away.
With the world? Keep an eye on this matchup, of course. Dijonai Carrington doing such a good job in the season opener. She kicked the ball.
Yeah, no kickball called, and you can see, and they call a foul on Clark on the other end. And Caitlin Clark is mystified as to how that was not called a kickball.
To many, Carrington's tears seemed more like a reaction to the backlash than genuine regret for her actions. As one fan put it, she's not sorry she did it, she's sorry she got caught. Now, the WNBA faces a pivotal moment. How the league addresses this incident will set a standard moving forward. Fans are calling for accountability, not just for Carrington, but for how similar situations have been handled in the past. If the league lets this slide, it risks sending a message that reckless behavior on the court is acceptable. Whether or not Carrington's hit on Kate Martin was intentional, it has sparked an important conversation about sportsmanship, accountability, and the integrity of the game.
For the game.
Here comes Carrington with the left hand. Oh, they're starting to put on a show here offensively for you, Prez. Making their free throws as we come up on a minute to play in the quarter with the defense.
Unfortunately, this kind of behavior isn't new. Kennedy Carter pulled a similar move when she unexpectedly shoved Caitlin Clark to the ground. What made it worse was her reaction. She acted like it never happened, showing no acknowledgement of her actions. It's starting to feel like some players believe they can get away with anything, and, in many cases, Kate Martin is now the latest victim of questionable on-court behavior. As she drove to the basket, ready to score, Carrington came from behind with a hit that wasn't just aggressive, it felt intentional. It seemed like Carrington was sending a message, stay out of my way, or you'll pay the price. With the season just around the corner, this couldn't have happened at a worse time. An injury could derail Kate's opportunity to stand out this year. Fans are fired up, and most agree this wasn't just an accident, it felt personal.
The hoop and the harm.
The triple-double machine. 9 career triple-doubles. That's #1 all-time in the WNBA. Sheldon trying to get the offense started. Poked away. Carrington in transition. Up and under. Carrington with the...
Caitlin Clark's decision to sit out is starting to make a lot more sense. As one of the biggest stars in basketball, she's been targeted before and understands the risks. Imagine if Caitlin had been the one injured by a hit like Carrington's on Kate. People would likely start questioning her toughness or calling her a one-hit wonder. She can't afford that kind of doubt. The problem is, the league hasn't shown much of a track record for protecting its players. Referees are quick to penalize players like Caitlin for even the slightest infractions, but when it comes to dangerous moves from players like Carrington or Carter...
Is 10 for 10, but she gets her pocket picked by Carrington. Here comes Dojkic to defend, but wow.
Let's talk about this double standard for a moment. Players like Caitlin Clark are constantly under a microscope. If she so much as breathes too hard on someone, she's hit with a foul. But when someone like Dijonai Carrington pulls off something as reckless as hitting Kate Martin from behind, the referees suddenly don't see it. Fans are fed up, and rightfully so. How is the WNBA supposed to grow if it can't even protect its own players? People tune in for talent, skill, and great basketball, not to watch players get hurt because the league isn't enforcing the rules fairly. This drama couldn't have come at a worse time for the WNBA. The Unrivaled event was supposed to hype up the season and showcase the league's top players. Instead, So
these were the official ratings. So the Vinyl versus the Phantom had 187,000 viewers, which, look, isn't great, but it's closer to 200k. I've always said, like, if they can manage to average 250k, it's good.
Honestly, the event itself hasn't been impressive either. Fans are underwhelmed by the performances, and instead of celebrating the league's talent, the focus has shifted to how poorly it's being managed. Carrington's actions have completely overshadowed everything, and that's a bad look for the WNBA. Fans are starting to see this as part of a bigger issue within the league, a culture where bad behavior is either rewarded or ignored as long as the player is considered valuable. Meanwhile, players like Caitlin Clark, who bring skill, excitement, and professionalism to the game, often find themselves treated unfairly and targeted both on and off the court.
With the 18th pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, the Las Vegas Aces select Kate Martin.
The message is clear. If you're on the right team or have the right connections, you can get away with anything. But if you're a rising star like Caitlin Clark, every little move is under the microscope. Fans aren't having it, and they're calling out the league, the Indiana Fever, and anyone enabling this behavior. The Fever has yet to address the backlash, and their silence is only making things worse. Fans are demanding answers. Why is Carrington still on the team? Why hasn't the league stepped in? And why does it seem like some players get a free pass? It's especially frustrating for Caitlin's fans. She's worked incredibly hard to prove herself as one of the best, facing criticism, jealousy, and even hostility along the way. Yet, when players like Carrington get away with reckless behavior without consequences, it feels like the league is sending the message that talent and professionalism don't matter as much as favoritism and politics.
Carrington inside off glass. League leader in assists, top 5 in rebounding. Suns starting 5 along with New York. All 5 starters, top 12 and plus minus. Dijonai Carrington.
Social media is buzzing with frustrated fans who've had enough of the league's double standards. Many are threatening to boycott games or cancel their subscriptions if things don't change. One fan tweeted, "How can the WNBA expect us to support the league when they let players like this run wild?" Another chimed in, "Caitlin Clark deserves better. We deserve better." Fans are also slamming the Indiana Fever, saying, "They're protecting players who mock others and condone dirty play," while wondering why the league is losing supporters. The WNBA's image is taking a hit, and this latest controversy is only making it worse. Instead of celebrating the league's incredible talent, the focus is on bad behavior, dirty plays, and unchecked arrogance. Fans are frustrated because they know the league has so much potential. They want to see fair play, accountability, and respect, not drama, favoritism, and
you could see, and they call a foul on Clark on the other end. And Caitlin Clark is mystified. And Powers for the dream. Bonner, power dribble, outlet.
It's time for the WNBA to take a stand. The league needs to hold players accountable for their actions, regardless of their status or team affiliation. That includes addressing the issues with Dijonai Carrington, her teammate on the Indiana Fever, and anyone else tarnishing the league's reputation. Fans are watching closely, and they won't stay quiet forever. If the WNBA wants to keep growing and attract new fans, it needs to show that it values integrity and fairness just as much as it values talent. What do you think? Was Dijonai Carrington's hit on Kate Martin intentional?